Let's take a quick look at Link now. Of course, as well, I've done a Bitcoin video, Ethereum video, and all that today, and I recommend watching the Bitcoin one. I'm going to keep shilling that to all the people who tune in, because the Bitcoin video today, you know, we talk about some different stuff. It's a little bit different. It might be enjoyable to you, a bit diversionary. Who knows? Let's just take a look though. Here we are on the 12-hour chart. I want to be on the 24-hour though. Sorry, so back over to 24-hour chart, and we're looking at Link versus Bitcoin to begin with. And the story from yesterday and the day before continues to be the same, and it's represented by these doji candles here, as you can see. We're going through this indecision here, and yes, well, you know, low risk management of long positions. If you think that you would only risk it a little bit to go down a little bit below here, perhaps maybe use the Cyan line as your risk management line. Who knows, maybe that would be where you try and get your long at. I'm not a financial advisor, it's not this financial advice. And then of course you'd be taking profit at 39,000, because we've not managed to do anything great shakes past that area yet. Of course, if you're going towards the downside, if we start opening and closing below 34,000, then I would say that we could easily come down and visit this 30,000. Of course, that's about 11, 12, whatever percent. So you're looking at big changes here in terms of prices. But you know, we're currently trending this way, looking to see whether or not this is the low as it goes area over here, or if this is just actually the really just giving us a heads up that we're in a downward trend. Because look, you got lower highs and lower lows here in this thing. So we could easily see things sink on down. Overall, you know, well, and if you go up to something like the weekly and the monthly, I'm going to remain bullish on this. Of course, when you look down at the daily, it's impossible to be bullish on this right now, other than so much as to say that there's an area where you could potentially be taking low risk longs from. And then of course, if you wanted to rewrite history and pretend that you were super cool and bullish when you needed to be, then you could do that if that's what you wanted to do. We'll not do any of that sort of jazz. Over here on the Link USD prices on Coinbase as well, same sort of story as yesterday, in that we're looking to see if we can get our closes up above $2.28 in that $2.30 area, or else you know, or else we have to kind of bear in mind that 163 would be our downside target. Of course, you know, though, we could be sitting in a higher low as sort of turning this around, and you'd be looking at 180. And if you look to the left, you can see that there is definitely support and resistance historically in and around that area. So that's where I'd be looking to first off there, really, for that one. And if we want to go down to the sort of 4-hour time frames and try and find something which might give us an indication of where we are, it's kind of impossible in terms of divergences and whatnot, because this is all just consolidation. In terms of patterns and things, it just doesn't really add up to anything. Perhaps you've got the psychology here, but spread out badly, of a head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulders there. But you know, none of it really necessarily ties up to anything, and we're just essentially drawn back once again to looking at that $2.29 and saying, well, that's our target currently at the minute. And that's what, and you know, if we break down below the 21 EMA here on the 4-hour chart, then maybe that'll be the first thing that will give us an indication that we're going to sink on down lower. Who knows? But we'll have to keep our eye out. And if we go over to the Binance chart, I think, Lewis, and look at it versus Tether, then you know, of course, like you can see, you've got this triangle here that's potentially had a breakout from, but it didn't come with any big volume, like we were saying at the time. It wasn't like a super duper thing. And if we want to be really kind of brutal about this and be perfectly honest about things and everything else, then let's just rejig this to what it also looks like, and we're still within this ascending triangle formation here. And you know what, we're not even far enough into this thing to be looking for a breakout. It would be more towards this area where you would expect it to be happening at. It's 3/4 of the way in, and we're only just sort of coming towards that area now. We've still got a ways to go yet. So this is our trading range essentially that we're looking at. Top side you've got 252, bottom side $2.12 currently is what we'd be looking at, and that's what I'll be operating myself in amongst. Now, thanks very much for tuning in, and I check out the other videos if I were you, because I recommend them. Thanks so much, and I really appreciate everybody who likes, subscribes, all the rest of it. It means an awful lot to me, really genuinely does. So thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.